Yeah, so very warm welcome. I'm very grateful to community members like yourselves who take out the time to, come and share your knowledge and expertise with the community. So yeah, please take over and do introduce yourself. In case I missed anything, I apologize. But yeah, please.
No problem, Nishta, and thank you so much for reaching out and talking about this very important, aspect of startup investments. One of the most important requirement at this point in time, because India needs a lot more and more startups at this point in time, and more angel investors coming in would definitely help. So without taking too much of time, I would just want to first of all welcome all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. So welcome to today's webinar on investing in Indian startups. And we are going to unleash the potential of Indian startups ecosystem. I'm actually thrilled to
Your
have
voice
each one
is
of you here.
your voice is breaking a little bit, Anshav. I don't know what it is, but something wrong with maybe mic. I don't know.
Okay, let me just try again. So, uh, okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. Welcome to today's webinar on investing in Indian startups. And we are going to unleash the potential of Indian startups ecosystem. I'm very thrilled actually to be here today because if you are a seasoned investor, a budding entrepreneur, or someone who is simply curious about the world of startups, this session is for you. So before we dive in, can I share a bit about my journey with all of you? Type yes in the chat window if you're okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your yeses out there. It's just flooding out there. Thank you so much. I am just going to share my screen a bit, and then we will talk about this further. So is my screen visible?
Yes, Anshav, it's visible. It was, now it's not.
Okay, so I'll have to put this on screen, entire screen, then it will come. Okay, fine. It should be visible now. Is it visible now?
Yes, 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 yes.
Perfect. Just a moment. Uh, by the way, I just want to, till the time I'm managing with this technical glitch out here, I just want to understand each of you. How many of you have actually invested in startups or at least have started exploring out there? If you have done that, please type yes. If you have not even looked at it, then type no. I would want to see how many yeses and no. So, Nishta, what screen is visible to you right now?
I can see your banner.
Perfect. And it is moving when I'm sliding away?
Yes, yes, it is.
Perfect. So let me just talk about investing in Indian startups today. Okay. Uh, Let me just tell you a little bit about myself, about my journey. I've been a serial entrepreneur, author of 21 plus books today. I'm a mentor with 50,000 plus community, a speaker, a global speaker, and a world record holder of a reach in around 158 countries. I'm also an angel investor and venture capitalist now. But the journey is not that been easy. It's been a very thrilling journey for me. And let me take you to a worldwide journey through the roller coaster that's been into my life. Just before a decade, I was riding high on the corporate ladder, drawing a fat paycheck at the peak of my career. Life seemed so comfortable until a sudden job loss shook ground beneath my feet. But you know what they say? Necessity is the mother of reinvention. And that's what happened with me. I was diving headfirst into the unpredictable world of startups when people even didn't know the word called startup. It was known as business. Exciting, right? Well, not so much because when I was carrying a debt of $500,000 with me, just fast forward a bit, I found myself juggling in multiple ventures, each with its own set of challenges. Seven businesses, 2 crores of personal wealth down the drain it felt like I was playing the world's riskiest game. But hey, resilience is a powerful force. And that's what I realized, that in the midst of setbacks, I discovered a transformative experience. Learning from failures, adapting, and picking myself up became the rhythm of my journey. And today, I'm not just Anshav, the guy who lost big, but I'm an architect of $100 million global conglomerate. And guess what? Amidst the roller coaster ride, I found a sweet spot in the startup investments. A ticket size of 25 lakhs. Within just 6 months, I got staggering 1.5x returns, around 60 lakhs. It was like discovering a hidden treasure in the vast landscape of uncertainties. The lesson, maybe a path may be uncertain, but with grit, wisdom, and touch of risk, you can turn challenges into stepping stones towards a prosperous future. Today, I proudly serve as the chairman and managing director of Design Your Unicorn, a $1 billion startups investment decentralized NFT based global platform. Our mission is ambitious but yet clear, to transform 1 billion lives, 1 million businesses, and foster the growth of 100 unicorns. We offer this opportunity with the lowest ticket size, providing principal protection and blah, 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 other options. I'm not going to talk more about that. But let me just take you to the next level of thing. How many of you are excited with this discussion and this introduction? Just type excited in the chat window. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Unnati. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Vishwanath. It's just getting flooded again and again. Let me just talk you about the investment opportunity. See, Indian startups are not just businesses, they're powerful engines of wealth creation today. With everybody looking towards India and with their potential comparison to a Silicon Valley success stories, the landscape is defined by rapid growth, fostering an environment of innovation. And today we will explore why these startups have become attractive investment options. See, the Indian startups have given a potential for massive wealth generation today. Because even if you see Facebook, who has given almost 2,200x plus returns in 8 years to its first investor, Peter Thiel, with a small investment of $500,000, he actually made $1.1 billion in 8 years' time and still holds some of the equities in Facebook. Peter Thiel was the co-founder with Elon Musk in PayPal. PayPal. So when they sold it off, Peter Thiel diverted his money into Facebook. Skype. Skype became a revolution in just 3 years' time. And when the first investor, he was actually around 70, 72 years old when he invested in Skype. And he invested without even a business model. He just invested $300,000 and it became a massive wealth for him. This is how the rapid inter-Indian startups ecosystem is also growing, which is, if you see today, India is already the third largest startup ecosystem. And soon we are going to become the startups capital of the world. Especially if you see today, Indian startups are actually performing 2x times better than Silicon Valley startups. There are success stories, there are failure stories. We are going to talk about that in Indian startups ecosystems as well. But traditionally, statistically, Indian startups are 2x more sustainable than Silicon Valley startups. And that is why they are growing much better across the world at this point in time. Not only that, Indians have been the pioneers in innovations. If you see the top Fortune 500 companies or any big company out there, be it Google, Microsoft, everywhere you will find Indians being there. So Indians always been the people who have been given the best of the innovations. Now they are running even the countries. UK, US, they've been run by Indians today. And that is what the creativity and innovation is making it as a very promising and a game changing culture within the ecosystem out there. Now, let's understand a little bit about the risk and the rewards. Nothing comes without risk. And, while the rewards of investing in startups can be immense, it is very crucial for each of you to understand the associated risk. I'll try to cover many of those risks out there and the myths into this. But let's go through one by one. So from high failure rates to market uncertainties, the journey is not without challenges. Successful investments can yield substantial returns, but you have to be careful. You have to be very, very careful. Investing in startups, has very, very high failure rates. Almost, it says that 9 out of 10 startup investments fail. So it is very important that you do a thorough due diligence to identify the right set of founders, business models, and their investability. The market uncertainties, there are so many shifts which are happening with respect to taxes, with respect to customer shifts, with respect to the business models. New and new businesses are coming up, and new startups are coming up, and they are literally eroding the business of the earlier startups. So you have to align your investments with very stable economic conditions, considering your investments, whichever are you putting in startups, you are taking a careful, risk out there. You are properly covered with your financial planning, like what Sharan always mentioned in his programs. Don't go towards this risky, venture unless you are properly secured and completed your financial planning model around there. Your emergency risk and your insurances are covered, emergency funds, etc. out there. Then the third biggest challenge which comes in with that is the lack of liquidity. Most of the startups, they will give you maybe exits at 4 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, and by that time your money is stuck, so you may not be able to use your money. There will be a limited opportunities, and you have to be very careful and very observant when the startups founders are giving you exits. If you can take exits, as even it at 5x, 10x, or 20x returns, because you never know that you might be waiting for 100x plus returns, but it may not happen. It has happened with a lot of my investors in my community, with our mentors, and even myself. So be very careful around that. Apart from that, you diversify your money across different startups for a various liquidity options. Don't just put your entire money into one startup or one or two startups, so that you get stuck within that. So diversify your money. That is another aspect which I would want to kind of share with you. Now, of course, the rewards and the opportunities, it definitely comes with substantial returns. As I mentioned, Facebook actually gave, you know, uh, 2200x plus returns to his first investor. While Skype gave, there's another company whom you would know, that anybody has heard of Uber? Just type in the chat window if you have heard about Uber. Yeah. So, by the way, do you know that Uber actually gave 186 crores to their investors who had invested only 3.6 lakh rupees? Did you know that? Just type yes or no in the chat window. Did you know that they actually gave 186 crores? And I would want to ask one more question to you, which is an Indian company, which is an Indian company, Indian startup unicorn, and I'll also give you a hint, it also has an IPO now, has given 224 crores in 11 years with a small investment of 10 lakh rupees. What is that company? Okay, so people are saying Baiju. Baiju is anyways gone now, but anyways, we'll talk about that. Uh, Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Boat. Okay, Ola has not started their IPO yet. Swiggy is just launching its IPO. But yes, Zomato is the right answer. So anybody who has given the Zomato, very good, well done for that. So that is what the best part of it in the startup ecosystem. If you get the right bet, now your 9 out of 10 start investments may fail, but one which will work, which will superimpose so much of growth for you that you can't even imagine. And that is why it has such an exponential growth, which is already given in many businesses, to many investors as well. But you have to be careful. You have to look for scalability, you have to look for sustainability, you have to look for investability, and then invest in them. Because India is a fertile ground for innovation and game changing ideas right now. That is the best opportunity for you to invest. Lot of people are now trying to invest in you finding the US startups, considering that Indian startups are not good, because the Silicon Valley startups are having very good branding and even funding. They still feel Silicon Valley startups are better. But believe me, India is on the verge of becoming the startups capital of the world. They're actually producing 2x more sustainable startups than the Silicon Valley. So be very, very careful in terms of where you are investing, whether it is US or any other country for that matter. At least in India, your money is somewhere protected under the RBI and SEBI rules. But when your money is outside India, there is no regulation. Your money is with them. So be very careful when you invest with such kind of things. Now let's talk about key factors while you invest into the startups, because when you navigate the startup landscape effectively, consider key factors such as thorough market analysis, strength of the management team, and alignment with the current economic trends. These elements are going to be very, very crucial for your long term sustainability and success. See, if you don't focus on these aspects of this with the management team, which is a critical aspect, because see, when you start a company, especially with early age startups, the company is entirely dependent on the founder of the company, of the startup. So you are not investing in a company right now. You're actually investing in a founder, and you're investing in a business model which has a potential to grow multifold. Now, I'll ask a question to you. And this is a very important question which you need to understand, and which I always tell entrepreneurs and investors, that every company will have one name associated with it. Even today, when companies like Reliance or any other company have their stocks listed on the BSC NSC platforms, they are known by one person. And I'll give the example. When the name Reliance comes, which name comes into your mind? Type it in the chat window. Ambani, Dhirubhai Ambani, Mukesh Ambani. Perfect. As soon as the Paytm comes into your name, your mind, which name comes into that? Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Perfect. If Ola comes into your name, if I tell you Ola, what will be that? So Hari says fail share price. Hari will talk about that later. Bhavish Agarwal. See, the point here is when they started their journey, they were alone. There was nobody. They didn't have even a pitch deck out there, but they got the funding. They got the funding, they got the investors. Investors trusted in them. Their potential is because of their vision. And vision is very, very important for any founder out there. Now, whether you are an entrepreneur or an investor looking to invest in an entrepreneur, you have to find out whether this person is a visionary, whether this person can go through various challenges which are going to come through it. Like at one side, when Baiju is coming down, there are a lot of people who are saying he will come back. He's a strong entrepreneur. He still has his, many of his investors support with him. That's the kind of support, which needs to be provided. So Avnish says people are good at faking. Avnish, that I will talk to you about. That we will talk to you up into the Q&A sessions. But let's go through this PPT at this point in time. I'm going to bust few of the myths for you today. It's going to be very, very important, because these are the myths which are surrounding the angel investing ecosystem. And because of that, more than 99% of our Indian investors are unable to invest. Do you know that? How many of you know that 90% of Indian investors, Indian startups, are actually funded by non Indian funds or investors or foreign investors? How many of you know that? If you don't know, type no. If you know it, then type yes. Okay, a lot of people know yes. I'm happy to know that a lot of people are knowing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. There is another aspect which I would like to share. Most of these startups, Indian startups, are not even registered in India. Even Flipkart was registered in Singapore. Baiju was registered in US, but they are making money from Indian customers. Now, the why I'm sharing this particular point with you, 90% of these startups, early age startups, are funded by foreign investors, and most of them are Chinese. I'm not getting an anti-Chinese model here, but most of them are Chinese, which means that our Indian startups are actually Chinese startups right now because they're owned by Chinese. Now, what happens when they launch the IPO? And I'm giving a very recent example of six startup unicorns: Paytm, Zomato, Nika, and three more. When they launch their IPOs, how many of you know the market tanked down by 50%, or even some of those shares are still not able to come up? We bail them out. Arun, you have written that very, very clearly, very rightly. You know what? When they actually put the money, 90% most of those foreign investors has actually made 224 crores in Zomato out of 10 lakh rupees of investment. And what Indian investors got at the stage of IPO? Loss worth of 2 lakh crores. That is the loss we are taking as a as an investor, being an Indian, investing in Indian startups and waiting for the IPO to come in. So these early age startups are very, very crucial for you to gain that advantage of that high growth model out there. Now, let me just take a one by one the myth around there. Most of the people thinks that they need millions of dollars, or maybe lakhs of rupees. I was just talking to somebody just before the event, just before this webinar. Somebody reached out to me from 1% Club community, and she was mentioning that I have some amount of money, which is a good sizable money though, and around 30 lakhs, it was saying, but I know it is not good for investing in startups. Absolutely wrong. There are people who are investing with as small as 50,000 rupees today. Yes, they may not be the best investments out there, but we are investing. There are investments happening with 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees in a different startup. There are angel funds available. We are also running an angel fund right now where we take investments starting from 45,000. But again, you have to take your caution very carefully. You have to understand that there are going to be risk involved into it. And that is what I'm going to come to the second point of it. Everybody thinks startups are too risky. I might lose all my money. And you're not wrong in thinking that. Believe me, I have also lost 1.5 crores in my first angel investment in 2018. But that gave me learning. That gave me options to bring another fund and bring more people, learn from that. But unless you jump into the swimming pool, you won't understand. But one thing is very sure: nowadays, angel investing is becoming far more accessible than ever. It has changed the ecosystem. When I started, there was no ecosystem was there was no training program. Now I'm a certified angel investor from Thai Mumbai, and Sanjay Mehta is my mentor, who is running an organization called 100x.vc. You can go and check his profile on LinkedIn. Now, with platforms like these and We Founder Circle, Venture Catalyst, and many other platforms like Design Your Unicorn, our platform, you can actually be a part of India's startup success. And the success ratio has increased to as high as almost 100% today. So your money is practically very safe because investors who are running these funds like us are very, very experienced out there, and they have investment committees who takes care of various models, analyzing their businesses and everything before investing in them. So you can invest with these funds as well if you have less amount of money. Learn with them how the investment process goes through it. Invest some of the couple of lakhs or some amount over there, and then start reaching out to startups directly on your own as well, and invest directly with them. So that is what the third myth comes in, where we say, angel investing is only for experts. I am not a finance expert. I am an IT guy. I am into sales. I can't become an angel investor. मेरे को finance समझ में ही नहीं आता. I can't even understand how do you evaluate these. Believe me, you don't need a finance degree. I don't have a finance degree. I mean, even though I'm supposedly be MBA marketing and finance, but my most of my capabilities towards sales, marketing, and onto that. I understand finance being a gen, but not beyond that. I don't have a finance degree as such, and it does not require. I am not an expert like Sharan who can talk about in various aspects of mutual funds, and that is why I've joined Sharan's program or community as well, because I can understand, so that I understand from the finance whatever is required from my investments perspective. But there are many other platforms like even Design Your Unicorn, our platform, where we support angel investors journey. We help you to nurture, help you to go through various aspects of evaluation process of these startup investments. Another bigger challenge which most of the angel investors have, oh god, I'll have to wait for 10 years or 11 years when the IPO will come, then I will take my money back. What will happen if I need my money in between, there is an emergency? It's not true. There are various liquidity options where you can have control of your investments. Yes, that is why we suggest you to, it is always advisable to diversify your money, because it may happen that one startup may take 5 years, 6 years to give you exit, but some startups may give you exits in 1 year time. We had invested in a startup 6 months ago, and now that discussion is happening for by a private equity firm, and they are planning to take over the entire stakes. Probably we'll get our exits in just less than 1 year time with 1.5 or 2x returns. Why not? Now it will be our choice whether we want to continue the journey or we not. But if you can do that liquidities and you can invest in different funds and different startups, you will be able to liquidate that much better. Now, another biggest myth that only Silicon Valley offers. I will invest only in Silicon Valley और my friend startup. मैं उसको बहुत अच्छे से जानता हूँ, मेरा दोस्त है, मेरा पैसा लेके कहीं नहीं जाएगा. And that is why I will invest in that with my friends. Believe me, my first loss of 1.5 crores happened because I had invested to my friend startup. I used to think that other startup founders are going to make me fool. And so it's better to work with somebody whom I know already. And I really used to know him for almost 8 years. But I lost 1.5 crores. Silicon Valley startups. My Silicon Valley, we have also have funds in Silicon Valley startups where we invest. Believe me, at this point in time, Indian startups are giving me better returns than the Silicon Valley startups to me. And they are able to hide away the things much more versus Indian startups, because Indian scenario, we can figure out various things which we are not even aware about US. So it becomes very difficult to evaluate such a non-traditional market which are not there openly available with all the details, but it is quite possible in an Indian market when you are there in India. So be careful on that aspect. The another thing which I always talk about, that many of these cryptocurrency, and I'm picking up this topic because ours is a decentralized blockchain based NFT startup investment platform, and cryptocurrency and NFT is a scam. See, I just want to tell you one thing very clearly. Cryptocurrency is not a scam. NFTs in per se is not a scam. It's the way people use makes that as a scam. I also had purchased 6 bitcoins in 2017 or probably earlier in just 60,000 rupees. Today, you know how much one bitcoin values, around $50,000 or so, maybe more. I have lost that money. I don't know, because what happened, as soon as I bought the bitcoin, I put that bitcoin into another company who was guaranteeing me some returns every month. That returns never came, and that bitcoins also never came. Later on, he was caught by the police and everybody, and it was a big scam of 4,000 crores and stuff like that. The point is, it is not the per se, the model itself is wrong. If your regulatory compliances are there, all legal regulations are taken care into place, transparency is there, it actually creates an important decentralized blockchain platform for you, adding extra layer of security, because your money cannot be taken up by anybody else except you, which is not there with most of the other investment options. See, as a chairman and MD of Design Your Unicorn Fund, I actually work on this commitment to the integrity and resources and security and other aspects. So, anyways, let's talk about further. But I just want to tell you that cryptocurrency NFT by per se is not a scam. Look at, there are a lot of startups who are coming up with NFT options right now, where they are decentralizing the real estate, the, as I said, angel investments, your other travel records, or many other things which are coming up in a cryptocurrency or NFT platforms. Those are not scams. Those are really good opportunities. There are platforms, Coinbase. If you heard Coinbase, it is one of my mentors, unicorn, where he has invested, became unicorn in just 2 years time. Amitabh Bachchan is the brand ambassador for that. So it's not a scam always. Just because it is showing cryptocurrency, don't miss out those opportunities, because you may miss out the best of the fund out there or best of the startup. Now, let me explain to you this very important aspect, that, what are your various avenues to explore? And you might be hearing about, what is this seed round, angel round, venture capitalist? What is this private equity? Anybody who has these questions in their mind, can you type it into the chat window? What is the question you have been hearing? So anybody has heard about pre-series A, series A, angel investor, and you get confused out there? If you're confused, please type yes. If you have not heard about it, then please type no. Okay. See, this is one area which is very, very important for every new angel investor to learn in. There are levels of angel investments out there. So the first level which comes in is when your business just at a ideation stage. You have just got an idea and you are thinking that you will get a business running around that. That is actually called a ideation stage. There are 5 stages. You can probably write it down if you want to. One is your ideation stage, wherein you just have an idea. You are having a probably a business model with you. You want to test out that idea and you're going. That is called as pre-seed round. And typically the funds are being taken with family and friends out there. Maybe you will bootstrap that thing. The second level, it is called as, in our design your unicorn methodology, we call that as a white belt. The second level, it comes to the yellow belt, which is about, you have a business model, you have a basic product ready, which is not a best of the product, but it is a basic product to test out the market, and you have that ready product readiness into it. That is what you would have heard about, MVP ready hai ki nahi hai market mein aapka, or things like that. So that is where your first level of option comes in from that perspective, and that is where your angel investors comes in into that stage. Okay, then your third stage comes in, wherein you come in with your which is, the angel investors are basically beyond the boundary of family and friends. The third level comes in as called green belt, where you started the revenue generation, you have tested out your product, you are getting the customers, you're probably liking, they're liking it, you're getting some feedbacks, you're improvising it, and that's the time you can get an angel investors or angel funds comes into the picture, which is typically a next level of business. Then the fourth round comes in, which is called as blue belt, wherein it is called as, where you have, it's called pre-series A round or series A round, wherein you have at least a crore of revenue, or you have a very large businesses coming in. There would be venture capital funds who will be coming in into that, who are investing in you, maybe couple of crores or multiple millions of dollars into it, couple, I would say multi crores out there. That's where the venture capital funds comes into it. Then the final stage comes in. It's called black belt, which is basically around called for when you go for a series B, C, D, E, and F, and all the and for so and so forth. That is where your private equity firms or your strategic corporate investors, they comes into the picture, wherein they invest from their funds and invest in those startups who have proven their market. They are very good in their revenues, they're practically at a very high valuations, but they don't want to take any risk with their money. They're okay with 3x 4x returns, but they don't want to take the risk out there. So the best benefits who gets in into the person who gets at the white belt level. But again, the more risk associated with that. Then the second is yellow belt, wherein you have a lesser risk but a lesser returns also. And that's how the stages go into that. After the green belt level, you practically don't have angel investors round, because at every level there are minimum ticket size asked by the startups to invest. Like for pre-seed level, white belt level, they may take even 1 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees. At a yellow belt level, they will take only 5 lakhs or 10 lakh rupees. At a green belt level, they probably will take 20 lakhs or 25 lakh rupees. At a blue belt level, they'll take 50 lakhs or 1 crore. And for black belt, they will take only a, let's say five more than 5 crores or $1 million or something like that. So that's how your value changes with that time. So you have to get in as early as possible, because once a startup grows to that level, you won't even have an eligibility to invest in them. So these are some of the case studies which I'll just quickly complete these, because I think it's already 7:42. uh, See, remember one thing: if you are able to figure out, let's delve into some case studies that capture the essence of Indian startup journeys, from Baiju's to OYO and Zomato's remarkable returns. All those landscape. You know what happened with Baiju's? It sold to $22 billion valuation, and then now they have filed a bankruptcy in US. This all happened because some of the, I mean, I don't want to use that word, but some of the investors have actually made Baiju raise more and more funds, made them do branding, and gave them so much of money and increase the valuation to make their money better. And that is where the worldwide, whirlpool of emotions and everything was going through, what was happening with Baiju's probably. Now nobody knows the entire truth out of it. This is my perspective, because as an entrepreneur I can really vouch that Baiju is not a fraud. It is the investors who have kind of made into this level. So we have to be careful around that as well. And as an entrepreneur, as an investor, look at these aspects also. But we have good stories like Oyo, Zomato. Sorry, not Oyo. That's Ola. That's a typing mistake. Oyo also has a big $1 billion story out there. But Zomato has turned 10 lakhs into whopping 224 crores in 11 years. We just spoke about it. Ola has actually given, increased the share of, has given a returns of 3.21 lakhs of just, who has bought a share of just 1,200 rupees in 3 years' time. There are a lot of women torch bearers now. Women are not behind today. Falguni Nayar's cosmetic empire, Nykaa, Kiran Majumdar's, in biopharmaceutical, how she was magnetic, so much of worth which she has created during the COVID time because of her company, Biocon. So it's not about gender, it's not about, the category, the sector. Every sector is given something or the other. Now, remember one thing: when you do that, you have to discover innovative metrics. And there are these three metrics I'm giving it to you, which we have designed after a careful analysis with our almost 10 years of experience, talking to 2000 plus investors and successful founders. And these indexes guides investors in identifying startups poised for a long-term success. So one of the first one is business sustainability index. See, if the business cannot sustain without funding, if the unit economics is not right, business won't sustain. Investors won't be interested, because they have realized with the loss of other unicorns that what the profitability is going to be the key aspect for it, at least for today, now in nowadays time. And it's a good learning out there. Initially, investors never used to bother about profitability, but now everybody is talking about profitability. So look at that angle. Look at scalability. How can they scale up better? So if they're having 1,000 customers, how will they have 10,000 customers, 1 lakh customers, 10 lakh customers with very limited workforce increase out there? And that is why you'll see a exponential curve. Founders coachability index is a continuous factor. If they are not able to upgrade their leadership acumen, their visionary power, and create that, they will not be able to be successful as an entrepreneur. They'll have to learn different things. When I started my journey, I didn't even know how to create a logo, how to define a name of a company. Today, we teach founders to each and everything, right from AI, marketing, automation, sales, marketing, business development, operational excellence, digital transformation, financial modeling. How do you scale up your businesses to 100x or 3 to 5 years time, or maybe more. How to raise the funds without you only leveraging the technology, but that has to be learning every day. Right now, also, I was supposed to be in another training program because I am upgrading myself. But I was here, so I will attend that later. The point here is the coachability is very, very important. If the person thinks that I know everything, Gujarati में बोलते हैं मन्ने बद्दू आउचे, you are gone. MBA. If you are an MBA, you are gone. So be careful on that. Third aspect is investment readiness index. Is this startup going to be in the radar of any upcoming big $1 billion fund whose investment thesis actually fits into this? So then, maybe in couple of years, when this startup will reach to that level, this will be acquired by a bigger investor at a higher valuation, and you will get 20x, 30x, 40x, 50x plus returns. So look at that angle, find out that scalability options, see that what are the different business funds who are coming up, do that research bit on that. uh, See, to mitigate risk and maximize returns, you have to build a diversified startup portfolio. Consider industry diversification, stage based investments. As I mentioned, 5 stages to you. Strategic risk management. You may get into a strategic support to them. You may get into the startups. If you're investing a large amount, you can actually get into their mentor panel as well, as an advisor panel as well. You can go through the fund of funds model, so that it will give you a different options for you as a diversification to mitigate the risk. Make sure that you do all these three things for you so that it becomes easier for you. Now let's come to the quickly what I want to tell you about the design your unicorn. What the fund which we are investing in Indian startups, and we are currently working with 17 plus state governments. We are tied up with 50 plus angel funds and venture capital firms. Overall, a community of 1,50,000 plus registered startups ecosystem we get the access to. 50,000 plus experts community spread across almost 80 to 90 countries today. 50,000 plus 15,000 plus entrepreneur community, 3,000 plus angel investors, and 350 plus incubation support centers in the colleges we support. So that's how the ecosystem which we have developed over a period of 10 years now, and looking forward, working towards to transform India into a number one economy once again. Now believe me, this is a new dawn coming up. This is the decade for the startups. This is the decade for the entrepreneurs. If you can find out a startup where you can invest your money, there are definitely it's a unique opportunity for you to generate massive wealth for you. Believe me, it will outstrip entire traditional investment avenues. Again, it's all comes with a risk, with a question mark, saying that there has to be analysis done, there has to be due diligence done. Without that strategic planning and due diligence, this lucrative landscape is not going to give you an financial fortune opportunity. So you have to be very careful. Now, anybody who is interested to understand more about this, I have created a small ebook which will talk about more about this entire startup ecosystem. What are the risks? How can you mitigate that? How can you analyze the startups? Where are the areas where you can look at it? What will be the benefits for you? How can you mitigate the risk? Everything out there is explained in a detailed ebook out there. So if you want that ebook, please click this. You can scan this QR code, you can take a screenshot, and uh, click this link. You can type this link as well. Nishta, can you put this link in the chat box as well?
The one you shared on WhatsApp, right?
Yes,
Yeah, give me 1 second.
the one which I have given it just now, and or I'll just put it. Wait. So I have also put in into the chat.
Okay, yeah, it's there.
Perfect. Okay. So if you want, if you have not taken this, everybody has taken the screenshot. If you want me to put the screen again, put yes in the chat window. I'll put it again. Okay. I'll just put the screen once more. Okay. All of you are able to see the screen. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, Avnish, good that you asked this question. So, this link will take you to my number actually. It's a autoresponder with a standard text so that you will get, all of you will get the important information out there. So, you will get two links over there. Once you reach, just whatever the standard text comes in, go there and enter it into the same chat window. Once it reaches to me, you will get two links out there. One link if you want to know more about angel investing and how you can invest into startups and even want to set up a call with me, you can click that link. Another link is for if you just want the ebook out there. So if you want just the ebook, just click on that link and you will, again it will take you back to the same window and you'll have to press the enter. So it will work as an autoresponder for you. And this is what the AI and autoresponder has given us the benefits that we can continue to keep giving you the things out there. So you will all get the ebooks accordingly. And if somebody wants to reach out to me for more details, they can click on the other link. Does that is that clear to everybody?
Thank you so much, Anshav. That was a great session. I had a lot to learn, and I'm sure people did as well. Guys, if you want to reach out, Anshav has given you the QR code, and it's also there in the chat. The link is there in the chat, so do that. What we can do right now is before we close, we can take a few questions. Some of you were posting in the chat box, right? So you can raise your hand, and I can take you up, and you can ask Anshav directly. Also, just in the spirit of what we'll start doing is because we are it's always good to have some feedback, right? So how did you like the session? Would you like for us to conduct more of these, or like what is it that you would like? I'm also putting a feedback form link. So very quickly, it won't take you more than 30 seconds to fill it. So just give some feedback so we know what you're liking and not liking about the sessions. Okay. Okay. So we have a hand raise. Manikandan, I'm allowing you to speak. You can ask your question. Go ahead, Manikandan. Manikandan, you can unmute yourself and speak.
I think he's not here. You can pick up the second, another one, Nishta. Okay,
Uh,
there are some questions in the Q&A session as well. Can I take that first?
yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
So, Tirthraj said, what's the percentage of losing money in startup investing? Is it more than 90%? Okay, so couple of years back when I started off, the number was 99 out of 10 startups investments used to fail. But today, there are many funds, including ours, where we have got as high as 100% success rate. It depends from funds to funds, investment committee to investment committee. But yes, there are people have evolved, angel funds have evolved, angel investors have evolved, venture capitalists have evolved. and now the success rates are very very close to 80 to 90 to 100% as well, because we do a lot of due diligence. See, when we identify, let's say 10 startups, we actually take 1,000 startups application, and then we identify 10 startups, and probably out of them two or three we will invest. So it's a very careful selection which is going to be done over a period of time, with the investment committee's valuation, experience and valuations, what they are going to do, and then the investments happen. So the success with the angel funds and venture capitalists are much better versus anybody else. Individual investment. But yes, you can also improvise your own angel investment analysis journey over a period of time, but learn through these factors. Sanchit says, in what aspect are we calling the Indian startup sustainable? Okay, Sanchit, sustainability matters in terms of whether they are able to grow their business, or they are able to sell their business to somebody. So when I say sustainable, it has to be profitable, it has to be scalable, and it has to be have more and more investors coming up and saying, okay, you can scale up better, so I can invest more money. It's like investor putting 100 rupees and they would want to make 1 lakh rupees out of it. That is how the magnitude of investors potential returns which they expect, which is 1000x plus returns, by the way. So this is where the sustainability becomes very important, and when it comes to large returns like this, you have to be very very careful, because the risk are also very very higher. Okay, what are the models used? Again, Tritraj has sent a question. How many, what are the models used to evaluate the startup? How many equity will be at given 50,000 investment? Tritraj, equity depends on startup to startup and how much valuation they have, what level they are in. First of all, you have to see whether the startup will accept 50,000 investment or not, depending on the stage of the investment. If they accept, then you have to check with them. What are they giving in on the, what are the kind of equities they are giving in, how many shares they are giving it to us. When we invested in a 100 crore valuation startup recently, around 25 lakh rupees, we got only very couple of shares out there. So you have to be very very clear around that. uh, what are the models used to evaluate startup? There are three things which I showed you in the presentation: business sustainability index, founders coachability index, and investment readiness index. These are the three widely used models which is there. We have developed our own model, everybody has their own models around that. uh, Okay, Keshwa says, I am interested to become an angel investor. Keshwa, please reach out, click onto that link, onto that, and go through further links. We will and set up a call with me. I'll talk to you further.
Anshav, you want to keep projecting the last slide of your PPT because people are asking and I'm not able to copy paste the link again. So
Am
maybe you
I
can
still?
keep it
I
up.
don't think so. I'm sharing, Nishta. I've
No, no, you
already
should.
stopped sharing.
No, I said you should. You should keep it up.
Acha. Okay, okay. Wait
Yeah.
a minute. Okay, thank you, Nishta. I'll just take
Yeah.
this back. Okay,
Guys, you can just
so
scan this QR code or like take a screenshot or something. For those of you who are
yes.
asking.
Yeah, and you can just come to that. Once you come to my window, we will connect with you personally. Because of the lot many number of messages, I may respond little late, and because I am also busy into that. But you will get most of the information over there. Just keep clicking the follow on links, and set up a call with me. At the end, once you set up a call with me, you will get a Calendly link, and then we will have a detailed discussion around that. Sajeev Rao says, what are the easiest avenues for investing in startups at different stages? The best way is to get attached to some angel fund or a trusted person, whomsoever you are. Learn the tricks and tips. If possible, join the angel investing master classes. There are a lot of places which is happening. Even IMs are doing these classes. We are also conducting some of the classes. There are Thai Mumbai who is doing it. Like I was part of Angel Sanjay Mehta's class in Thai Mumbai. So there are a lot of angel investing master classes or programs or courses which are coming up. You can join our VIP community as well, where we will give you support on that. Again, the same link will take you there. Uh, okay, Thritraj, can you please show the portfolio of success versus failure? It's a very difficult thing to do, but it's all available online. You can check it, Google search it, INC 42, Your Story. These are various platforms which has published lot of reports. You can download reports from there. You will get lot of information. How do you contact startups? You have to build your profile. You have to build your profile as an angel investor. Show them that you have money and you should have money with you. Reach out to them through these angel funds. Join some angel funds groups like Designer Unicorn, NFT $1 billion fund, or something else. There are many other venture capitalist firms. If you want to reach out and talk to us, Ashrita, you can just connect with us and set up a call with me. I'll help you out to reach out to other, tell you the other names as well, and you can then decide accordingly. Is this the right time to invest since the market is in peak now? Keshava, this is the best part of startup ecosystem. IPO market or BSC NSC market has nothing to do with startup investment. You are actually doing it much before than when they come into the IPO market. Because when they come into the IPO, the opportunity is actually gone. We have already made losses to 6 Indian unicorns. Most of the money is going outside. The one of the major requirement in India right now is to make all the investors aware to invest in early age startups so that when they grow big, they make money, not just foreign investors. Lot of people, if you go to LinkedIn, you will find they're coming in India from US, China, or all across the globe. People are coming in India and investing in Indian startups. But we as an Indian investors are not able to do that because of the awareness, and that is what the awareness we are creating with this webinar. And thanks to Sharan and the Nishta for arranging this. uh, Durga says only the financial support or provide respective funding supports from government scheme, banker loans also as well. Absolutely, yes, Durga. We have got a support with the 17 plus Indian government state ecosystems. We work with Startup India, Invest India, Skills India, and various other government agencies, including the Rotary groups and 350 plus incubation centers at this point in time, where we provide these government supports of even in the forms of grants, in the forms of incubation funds as high as 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, and even when they reach to a level of an MSME, that also they can get a loan of 5 crores at a very low interest rate also. So there are various options available which we help these startups and MSMEs out there to grow their businesses. uh, Durga says monitoring the startup invested as well, or we used to take care, or once everything goes well with profits, retaining the business. I didn't understand your question, Durga. So you reach out to me and ask your question to me in my personal WhatsApp window. Siddhi says, how does your investing firm work? Is it like a pool of money as mutual funds, or how else? Would you like to learn about that as well? So, Siddhi, most of the organizations have both options. One is you can directly invest in their startups, portfolio startups. Like we also have our investment cohort startups where we are going to invest from our fund, but we have a fund as well. And most of the venture angel funds or venture capitalists have the similar model, wherein they will also invest from their own fund, which they raise it from their investors, giving them a certain other different unique benefits with respect to hurdle rates, guaranteed returns, or anything on that. So they raise money directly and then invest into the startups. So that's how it works. So for more details, you can reach out to me.
Anshav, just a second. Pavitra, what kind of payment are you trying to make? There's no payment that you're supposed to make. You can just enter whatever comes in the chat, and you'll get the link to download ebook or contact the team. There's no payment needed for you to do. It's a free ebook.
Yes, the ebook is absolutely free. I think they might be reaching to my some of the fund options as well. So please, my suggestion is please don't pay anything anywhere because you cannot pay. It is just an informative thing for you. If anybody has any questions, please set up a call with me. I will send you, to discuss further onto that. Once you follow on through that, you will get all the supported links. If you don't get the link, please type a message into my WhatsApp window saying that I want to set up a call with you. I will send you the link. Okay. How is the well? Siddhi says. Okay, nahi. Keith says, how is the valuation of a company decided in Shark Tank? It looks so simple. Can you explain in brief? And also, do you help in starting small businesses? Keith, yes, we help in starting small businesses. We have a Design Your Unicorn platform only to help startups or ideation stage businesses to take them from one level to another level to across the 5 levels. We do provide them the ecosystem as well, global ecosystem in 158 plus countries today. We have a world record in that. we have a global ecosystem and support available in almost all the six continents across the globe. So we help them, we help people to do exports in 190 countries through embassies. So there are a lot of support which is being provided, and this is typically provided to all our investment cohorts so that they grow faster and faster and faster. Apart from that, if we have not even invested, then also we support them. As far as the valuation of a company is concerned, it is practically decided by the founder. There are some valuation experts, but it is not 100% guaranteed. There are certain ways out of it. It's ultimately the basis on negotiation. It's like perception based. I feel my company is $100 million company. Second person may feel it's a $200 million, and somebody may say it's not even a $10 million company. So it's practically on papers the way it is done. There are certain models which is defined by the investment bankers. You can use that, like typically discounting cash flow method and other methods out there, but nothing is foolproof. Vishwanath says, what is the bare amount you need to have to become an angel investor? Vishwanath, in today's time, depending on which startup and you are investing, there are options available even from 50,000 rupees, and people are even investing even 50 crore rupees as well. So it depends entirely on the startup which you are going to invest or the angel fund which is offering that option. So look out for various options. If you want more information, you can connect with me and I can set up a call with you. Can I invest using NRE account? Funny, yes, you can invest through NRE account. I need to know further details around that. And please reach out to me. We will discuss further into it, how you can do that and how you will be able to invest into that. We work always through SEBI Cat 1 registered fund for most of our foreign investment and even the local investments. So there is no, it's a completely SEBI regulated model which we are running. So there is no problems in terms of taking money from anywhere across the globe. Uh, okay, there is some anonymous attendee says, what is the guarantee for amount invested? Is that secure? No, so there is no guarantee for anybody which is being given. But yes, there are some options by which you can do that. Like in our Design Your Unicorn fund, we give an option of equity and debt value, where we give you some amount of returns, but that is only from a debt perspective. It is like either you're giving money in equity or debt. So we are either giving you debentures or we are giving you equities. So that is how you will be able to get that. So if you want to split your money in an equity and debt, you can do so as well. You can do that by investing our fund directly, or you can go to other startups and tell them that I will give you money in debt, or I will give you money in equity. Like recently, there was a Shark Tank scenario wherein Aman Gupta was giving 1.3 crores as a loan of 10% per annum versus 20 lakh rupees they have given only as a foreign equity. So he has got 1.5 crores, but he has got 1.3 crores as debt and 20 lakhs as equity. So that's how it works out. So you need to decide and negotiate basis on your investment capacity and your awareness. What is the commission your company charges? We know that's a very separate question, different on that. There are different charges available with every angel fund. It's all regulated by SEBI and RBI. So you have to discuss with the person whom you are talking to. For our company, you can reach out to us. We will discuss further details into it. Kaushik says, what will be the charges that are going to be implied on the individual if you need to invest in a startup through third-party companies? What do you mean by third party companies? It's either your money or your personal account or your company account. So whatever that comes in, accordingly the fund manage charges on that. Funny again says, is the allocation same for NRE or resident investments? Yes, allocations are going to be the same. If the money is paid in dollars or currencies, accordingly the charges may be little higher, but allocation remains the same. Dilip says, how to ensure that the amount you invested translates to equity in companies? Is there some document that? Yes, Dilip, this is a purely legal model. There are a lot of documents, share certificates you will get in. You will get in some kind of a document like ISAFE or some agreements, legal agreements. If it is debenture, if it is a debt, then you will get a debenture certificates, or your name will be appearing. If you want a director seat, if you are investing a large chunk, you may ask for a director seat from the company. As an advisor seat, you can actually become a director in the company, but it has its own challenges as well. That we can discuss it out once you come into the call with me. But yes, it's purely legal, 100% legal, SEBI RBI regulated. Even the NFT model, cryptocurrencies, everything whatever comes in into this, in India nobody can do business without any legal approvals out there. And if they are doing it, they will be caught one day or the other. So be aware for the fake things. uh, okay, there are a lot of questions, Nishta. You want me to take all of them now?
No, no, not a lot. Let me talk.
uh,
So Funny is
what
again
is the
asking, is it 60/40 that you do, or can she also choose this optimum split for 5 lakh, 80, 20, 50, 50? It's very personalized, guys. Try to keep it a little zoomed out. This is a little personalized. I mean, obviously, like Anshav said, it depends upon what investment you're making. How much are you going to be investing for, how long, etc., etc. I'm sure there are many factors to it. Right, Anshav?
Absolutely. So funny that your question is valid. Please set up a call with me. I will explain to this in more detail to you. Yes, there are options available. I can only answer this at this point in time, but how much and what it is possible, that we will discuss over the call. Uh, Funny says angel list. You can say that. You can say that. It's like that platform only. Do you have the office in Bangalore? Yes, we have an office in Bangalore. You let us know. I am in Bangalore actually. If you want to meet, let me know. Once you reach to me, we can talk about it. But we practically work from multiple countries, and almost we are starting up a caravan in entire all the 28 states and 8 union territories. So I don't know how long I will be there. So we will have offices in every city, every state actually, and almost all the cities. Are these funds regulated by RBI and government? Yes, I think I've already answered that.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
think,
I'm mostly done, Nishta, in the question
yeah,
and answer session.
yeah. I think just a couple more questions. Vivek is asking, is there any agency for rating like S&P for these startup, I suppose?
Sorry, come back.
Is there like any rating agency like we have S&P and all, or no?
There are agencies you can check like INC 42, Your Story, but these are again private bodies. There is no government body as such who rates them. Okay, because these are early age startups. But yes, it is being somewhere controlled by somewhere Startups India or Invest India, but there's no agency as such right now because there's no way to evaluate startups very clearly. There are private bodies who claims to do that, who are doing it, but again it's all their perception or their analysis.
Okay, I think let's just last one regarding the community. I think they're trying to join some community that would have popped up in WhatsApp message.
uh, Rohan, and anybody, please understand that this forum is only for the people to educate about it. This is not a fund related discussions. If you have any questions related to this, you can please either ignore, or you can read, if something is coming up to you on your screen, because it's an autoresponders and you might be clicking multiple links, either you just leave it there, or you set up a call with me. I will explain each and everything. This has nothing to do with 1% club or Nishta or Sharan out there, and I don't want to make it look like that they are promoting anything. They are not. So they are not related to it. They have requested me to do this webinar for the awareness part of it. So I've kept it limited to that. Follow through it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me individually. I've already shared the link to you. Once you click there, you will reach out to my personal WhatsApp number. So don't worry on that.
Okay. I think that's great. I think we have covered most of it, guys. Like Anshav said, please reach out to him if you want to understand more. And for the ebook also, you can just scan the QR code. And I've also sent the feedback form, so do fill that. It will help us understand what is it that you're looking for. Is there something that we can do better, etc., etc., right? Any last parting thoughts from your end, Anshav? Anything that you would like to say to our audience?
Yeah, so I just want to tell one thing to all of you. See, angel investment or startup investment has just started in India. Shark Tank US has already got 13, 14, series already in this point in time, which means that they've been running for almost more than 2 decades now. Indian startup ecosystem has evolved over a period of 1 decade. And in fact, last since after COVID, it has started picked up much better or much more. So it is very, very new. uh, Opportunities are very good. People who have invested in Silicon Valley startup, the US investors have made remarkable money, but people have lost as well, literally their entire fortune. I have also lost my entire savings and investments in my first investment itself because I did a mistake of putting everything into one basket to my friend's startup and thought it will work. The idea was good, the product was good, but the team was not good. So be very careful while you invest. Don't put everything initially at the same point in time, everything into one startup. Be very attached with certain funds out there, attach with people who are experts, who understand this. Get yourself acquainted towards the various things on that. There are a lot of channels available on YouTube. On LinkedIn, there are people who are talking about what they're doing about angel investments and all. Learn about that. Join our communities out there. You will get more and more details around that. If you want to go, you can go for our various other programs, VIP community. Before investing, take as much as knowledge as possible. Understand the founders. Even if you invest with us, please do a thorough due diligence. Go to my profile, go to our startup websites, ask for all those details. Never just invest because of the on the face value of it. You might feel that Anshav is talking so good because he has done so many mistakes and he has now learned he would be the best. Not necessary. It might not suit your investment thesis. You may not like me as a person. You may not like the startups I am choosing or we are choosing. So you have to do your own understanding, prepare some understanding. That is called investment thesis. You can prepare that. There are a lot of institutions who are doing these programs. If you want, we can also do that program for you and manage that. We will be probably doing it in some time. But do that analysis, be very aligned towards it, and don't run towards this FOMO thing. How many of you do FOMO? Fear of missing something, right? Please don't go on to that. Fear of missing out is our biggest problem, which investors lose money. This is what happened with Byju's. This is what happened with many others earlier because they were not knowing how to evaluate. Just because some investors have invested, big investors have invested, they have come to you saying that if you don't invest this, you will lose another valuation. No need. It's okay. If that opportunity goes, something else will come up. And you don't know how many whether that startup will grow or not. Yes, we have also made mistakes. I have also lost good opportunities because of too much of over decision thinking. But it does not mean that you lose out your hard earned money. It's your hard earned money.
Great.
So
Thank
please
you so
make
much,
sure that you do a careful analysis. That's all
Thank
I
you.
think I want to give them.
Yeah. No, no, definitely. I mean, I'm sure. And like we continue to tell you at the 1% Club, we want you to be financially literate and sound, and we want you to be able to take those decisions for yourself and have the conviction when you are taking them, right? So please operate with that mindset. Don't listen to anything that Anshav says or anybody says. That is how Sharan also does it and Shashank also does it, right? We are teaching you to take care of your own money. Of course, there's expert help out there, but the kind of the way you will manage your money with the kind of conviction and care that you will display towards your hard-earned money, nobody else can, right? And so yeah, please reach out to answer if you want to, and if you have any other feedback, etc. You can fill the form. You can also reach out to me in the community. You know my handle, right? And we'll talk soon. I'll see you tomorrow for Shashank's session at 2 p.m. Don't forget that it's at 2 p.m. So you might forget. So just letting you know, an FYI. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Again, thank you so much, Ansha, for taking the time. It was a lovely, lovely session, and let's hope that people get more conviction and confidence to invest in the Indian startup story. If they want to, after doing their diligence, obviously. Again, not an advice, not a recommendation. We don't do that here. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Chalo, take care. Have a good rest of the evening. Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care. All the best, guys.